Hey guys, welcome back. If you have a live event coming up, whether you're sponsoring a booth or just walking the show floor, you have a huge opportunity to capture content that can live far beyond the show itself. Let's face it, in today's day and age, the demand for consistent content can get overwhelming pretty quickly. And because of this, finding ways to extend the mileage of anything that you do can have a serious impact on your stress levels, as it'll feed the content pipeline and allow you more time to focus on creativity for your next big campaign. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 ways to capture high-quality podcast content at a live event. These are real-world strategies that we've used with our clients, and no matter your budget or setup, there's something here that'll work for you. Set up a dedicated podcast booth. Let's start with the absolute best-case scenario. If you have a booth at the event, you've already got space, so why not double down and set up a podcast booth? A podcast booth gives you a dedicated, controlled space to record interviews, build buzz, and engage with your attendees. It lets you schedule guests ahead of time, build a consistent recording workflow, and gives your brand visibility. We set up podcast booths for our clients all the time, and I can't tell you how many people walk up to ask questions about what we're doing at the booth. Now, you can go all in on this strategy, building out an entire sound booth to help isolate sound within and showcase the brand visually, but you don't need to go crazy to get some good results. A simple table with a few microphones on the show floor would work just fine. Just be sure you're setting up the proper gear to capture the best results. Create a mobile studio with a digital recorder. You don't need to have a full booth presence to record a podcast on the show floor. A digital recorder like the Zoom H6 and a pair of dynamic handheld mics like the Samsung Q2U or Shure SM58 will basically give you a portable podcast studio right in your backpack. What you absolutely want to avoid is placing the recorder in the middle of a table to record both speakers, or using your phone's built-in microphone or a condenser microphone in this setup. They're way too sensitive and they'll pick up everything happening around you. Record on-the-fly interviews with your phone the right way. Now, after telling you not to use your phone, here I am telling you to use your phone. Just bear with me a second. Sometimes you just want to grab a few quick thoughts from attendees, maybe capturing their reaction after a session. And in a quick scenario like this, your phone can work well, but you need to use the right microphone setup. The internal mic of your phone is going to pick up a ton of noise around you. So be sure to use an external dynamic microphone like the Rode Reporter or the Samsung Q2U connected via an iRig Pre2 interface or a USB adapter. This turns your phone into a solid recording tool without all the background noise that usually comes along with it. For this style of interview, keep your questions short. You might even want to ask attendees to respond within 60 seconds. Something like, in under a minute, tell us the top 3 insights you got from that last session. Now, with this format, you won't be able to frame an entire episode around one of these interviews, but you could compile them together into a compilation episode or use them as a segment of a larger episode. You could even use them to post to social media as snackable content, keeping your podcast brand visible while on the show floor. Capture speaker sessions or panels. If someone from your team is speaking at the show, or there's a session that fits your podcast theme, this could make for a really awesome episode. If you're hosting the show, you can literally record every session, but if you're an attendee or sponsor, you should never record any session without asking first. So step 1 is ask permission from the event organizers. Once approved, now you'll need to figure out how to capture the audio. You could set up a recorder or your phone in the back of the room, but this will wreak havoc on your audio quality. Instead, work with the AV team ahead of time to grab a clean audio feed from the mixing board. You could plug this directly into a Zoom recorder via XLR or line input, or you can use your phone using an iRig Pre2. Once recorded, you can add a short intro and outro from your host, adding some additional context. And now you've got a high-impact episode that gives your listeners a seat in the room. Book a quiet room through the event team. Okay, so you want to set up a podcast booth at the event, but you don't have a sponsorship booth. Or maybe you do, but you can't dedicate a footprint to the podcast recording. Even without a booth, you could still create a great recording environment by reaching out to the event organizers ahead of time and booking a meeting room. This is often included in sponsorship packages anyway, so be sure to leverage what you have. If you can't book a room from the event organizers, talk to the hotel that's hosting the event. They may be able to give you a meeting room on premise for the day to conduct your interviews. It's not out in the open and won't get the visual branding of a podcast booth on the show floor, but this will definitely give you a professional, quiet space to conduct longer interviews with more control. Great sound, relaxed guests, and a space that helps you stick to your schedule. All right, so those were 5 ways to capture quality audio for your podcast episodes at your next event. But before we wrap, here are a few quick bonus tips that'll save you time, stress, and possibly your entire recording. Plan to bring enough microphones, 1 per speaker. Seriously, don't make people share a microphone. It slows the flow of the conversation, and worst of all, it compromises your audio quality. You don't want guests leaning in and out mid-sentence. Never place your phone in the middle of a table to record. It might pick up everybody's voice, but it'll definitely pick up every chair squeak, background convo, and hallway echo. Use proper microphones or skip the recording altogether. You'll thank yourself later. Pack extra XLR cables, batteries, and SD cards. This one's simple. Gear fails, batteries die, cards fill up. Always bring backups so you're not stuck when something inevitably goes wrong. Test your gear before the event starts. Trust me, you do not want to troubleshoot an audio issue when your guest is already sitting across from you. Do a sound check the night before, record a quick sample, and make sure your levels are clean. Have release forms ready if you're interviewing guests. This is especially true if you're interviewing customers, partners, or attendees. It keeps things professional and protects you legally so you can use the content with confidence. And lastly, I can't emphasize enough the importance of planning. Conferences are chaotic. Things shift, people no-show, and you're constantly dodging schedule changes. But if you go in with a clear plan, recording slots, backup guests, gear lists, you'll be way more equipped to roll with the punches. A solid plan gives you structure and flexibility, which is exactly what you need when the floor gets chaotic. Live events are content goldmines. You just have to be ready to capture it. So whether you're going big with a full booth or keeping it scrappy with a mobile setup, you've got plenty of options to gather enough content to feed the beast. Well, that's all I have for you today. If this episode was helpful, please give it a like to support the channel, and don't forget to subscribe before you go. We post videos like these to help content creators get the most out of their multimedia, and you won't want to miss an episode. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.